Hello, my friends, and welcome back to a live edition of John Crump News. We're going to be talking about a new lawsuit that was just filed about an hour ago, a little bit less than an hour ago, and we are going to tell you exactly what is going on with it. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, I am John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist and I cover 2A News. Today we're going to be talking about a case out of New York, and this challenges the ban on carrying firearms in Times Square. Times Square is a place where a lot of people gather, and they figured that it's a sensitive area because a lot of people gather there. The problem with that is Thomas specifically said that just because people gather in a place does not make it a sensitive area, yet New York is trying to do that. And FPC is suing over that because they say it violates the Second and also the 14th Amendment. So let's go ahead and talk about the case. This is Goldberger versus James. The case number is 726 CV 02325. It was filed in the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. It is a federal lawsuit, and it involves a man named Yuda Goldberg. He's a law-abiding citizen, everyday citizen. He has a concealed carry permit, and he is a citizen of Rockland County, New York. He travels through Times Square a lot for personal reasons and also for business. And he's disarmed by New York because of their sorry about the team's going off because of their uh, stupid requirement about sensitive areas. So he teamed up with FPC and they are suing Letitia James, who is the Attorney General of New York, Jessica Tisch. If you don't know who Jessica Tisch is, she is the NYPD Police Commissioner, and Alvin Bragg, who's the Manhattan District Attorney. At the core of the lawsuit, they are challenging the carry in Times Square. They cite a couple different things, but the thing they mostly hang their hat on is the Supreme Court's decision from 2022, New York State Pistol Rifle Association versus Bruin. I'm not going to go too much into what that is because everyone out there knows what Bruin is, unless you lived under a rock. The law that they are specifically challenging is New York Penal Law, Section 265.01E, subsection 2, subsection T. And that is where they designate Times Square a sensitive area. Even if you have a concealed carry license, you cannot carry in Times Square. And if you get caught, they charge you with a Class E felony, which means you will get a bunch of fines and you'll get imprisoned for up to 4 years, which is not good. New York City also have administration code 10315 subsection A, which defines the boundaries of Times Square. It's basically between West 40th Street and 48th Street, and this includes the sidewalks too. And it also includes the enforcement practices. So, why is this restriction there anyway? And the short answer is after Bruin, New York didn't like the Bruin decision, so they passed the CCIA and a bunch of other unconstitutional gun laws. And in those laws, they declared all of Times Square as a sensitive area and also a bunch of other things like social media checks, which have been knocked down by GOA, thank God, new training requirements, and a bunch of other sensitive areas. What FPC wants is a declaratory judgment that the Times Square ban and an enforcement violates the Second Amendment and the 14th Amendment. The Second Amendment, everyone knows what that is. The 14th Amendment says the Bill of Rights applies to the states. So that's why you get the 14th Amendment claim there. They're also asking for a permanent injunction prohibiting, like, the defendants, in this case New York, from enforcing the ban, any related laws or any other regulations that match this. Then they also want attorney fees. Attorney fees is kind of hard to get. I see a lot of courts deny attorney fees, even though that they are technically entitled to it under 42 USC section 988. That's the section that says you can get attorney fees, but they don't always have that. They do acknowledge that there's a Second Amendment circuit, Second Circuit precedent, but argues that it's inconsistent with Bruin and Antioch and a couple other cases. The Second Circuit upheld the restrictions, and that is wrong in FPC's view. And they're asking that to be reconsidered and overruled. This isn't the first time the FPC sued in New York. It's not the first time anyone sued in New York, but these cases are going to keep on getting brought up until they finally reach the Supreme Court. Once it reaches the Supreme Court, we're going to have to see what the Supreme Court says, if they even take the case. Antioch is going up in front of the Supreme Court. There was a partial settlement agreement in Antioch recently, and that dealt with the social media stuff. So New York was banned from using social media, and they agreed to that. But there's other parts of Antioch that stayed, and that's why it's in front of the Supreme Court. We're going to have to see exactly what happens with that. But that's basically it. I just wanted to do a quick video here just to make you guys aware of what's going on, just so you guys know what is going on. So I am going to get out of here. I got some stuff I need to take care of. So I love you guys. All right. I got some exciting news coming up. I'm working on a project. I think it's going to be really, really cool. And with that, I am going to get out of here so I can get back to working on that. So stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keeping the fight, and I'm out of here. See you guys later. Bye-bye.